Hey guys, it's
I,
me, and he's just talked over me. Lovely.
oh, oh,
It's all right. It's all right. It's just not. It's not going to your channel. It's going to mine. So I don't appreciate the. Anyway, as you all know, this is my good friend Leknight Studios. He is pretty much, as people would refer to us as YouTube brothers, and we are both conveniently massive Toy Story fans. Would you agree, Lots?
I would agree. I would 100% agree on that front.
Okay. Which is your favourite of the franchise before we begin?
My favorite is the second one.
The second one. Okay. My personal favourite is Toy Story 3, simply because I appreciate movies that are ideally for kids, but also bring a mature setting that make it visible for all ages. And I'd say for a kids' film, Toy Story 3 is dark as shit. So I appreciate that. And that's also why I personally prefer Inside Out 2 to the first one, because it's more mature and adds a lot of realism to life. But now let's get into the meat and potato of things. So
Yeah.
you minutes ago you came home from watching Toy Story 5. I watched it about a week ago. In short terms, we both think it's good. It's good.
Yeah. I
Um
mean, look, it's all right, but, you know, there's obviously things that it could improve on, in my opinion,
hmm.
you know, and that's not debatable.
Oh, the classic catchphrase. Just so you guys know, before we continue, whenever me and this guy are on call, we always bring our classic catchphrase, our nostalgic lines. You're going to be hearing a lot of that through this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Why don't I start with you, Joe? So what's your,
okay.
verdict?
So, my personal opinion, when I first saw the trailers for this film, I thought, yeah, okay, I have a brief idea. They're gonna do what Toy Story 4 did. They're basically gonna try their best with this like heartfelt story, when in reality the film is pointless because we're continuing a story that has already ended. And when I watched the film, I still have the idea that this film is pointless at the end of the day because we are just repeatedly continuing something that ends. But I think that this is an astronomical improvement to Toy Story 4 because this has a very realistic premise that is a problem in this generation in general, like technology taking over, like pretty much not just kids, everyone in general. But I appreciate the idea that it's basically putting toys at extinction, and I also appreciate, I won't go into spoilers, neither of us will, but one thing I am going to say is I really appreciate that the film is actually a lot more deep than the trailers made it out to be. Like it does have a handful of emotional moments. I speak from experience from cyberbullying in high school, so I can relate to moments like that. And it does. I think it's handled very well. They didn't make it too dark. They didn't make it too light. They got it like spot on, and I'm happy that they included that in a kids film because that might sound messed up, but I appreciate the fact that they're showing kids the danger of social media so it can be a lesson for them not to make wrong choices online. And Lilypad is my second favourite Toy Story villain after Lotso. I think that she was pretty good. Lots, the floor is yours. What did you think?
All right. Um, what do I think of it? I thought that the movie itself, it wasn't bad. I'm just going to say it pretty simply. It wasn't bad. I thought that, the way that they executed the whole technology versus toys was very well done. Uh, what else can I say? I mean, I like how they shifted their focus to Jessie as well.
Hmm.
Jessie good in this film. She's actually really. I like how she's gotten over her claustrophobia as well, and like how that's like continued. And that's kind of random, but I just noticed that instantly. And there's a change in her behavior. in terms of my final opinion on the film, it's got that like nuance of the whole like issue, right? But at the same time, it could have used just a bit more emotion. I think just a bit more. I think if there was like more times when the movie would just like pause and appreciate things, like for a second, like where Jesse's on like a hill or something, appreciating something or whatever. I won't spoil it, but if you know, you know. And she's just thinking, oh, I love this feeling. I felt like the film could have just slowed down a bit because the pacing was really quite quick. Like you feel like you're jumping around here and there as fast as the toys are as well.
Yeah.
And, maybe that is for a younger audience, that'll be fine and all. But for the older audience, I wouldn't have mind like a longer sort of runtime and an elongated story because a lot of the moments just felt a bit too quick for my liking. In terms of what I liked the art style, like how it went from when the kids were playing, like it went to that cartoony sort of style. And I really like how they really focused on the kids themselves. Like, it's not just about the toys. Like the kids are really, they're not just big characters that just rock up once in a while. They're like nuanced sort of characters that have like these deep personal emotions that I don't think we've really, we have in like with Andy and that, but at the same with Bonnie, we've really kind of delved deeper.
That was something I did want to click on to let people know. This is the first Toy Story movie where the kids actually have a big part, because normally in these films the kids are just side characters, and they technically are in this film as well, but this is the first film where we actually have like these interesting characters. We even see a side of Bonnie that we've never seen before. It's not too different to how she normally is, but it is still different.
Indeed. And it has shown that she's grown up, and it has shown that, you deal with things like insecurities and, like peer pressure and social judgment. And it just kind of represents that and magnifies it of today's world. Like, why can't we feel happy? For kids, like, why can't kids feel happy about playing with toys anymore? It's like a very natural thing.
And it's a big problem.
It is a big problem. Kids inherently are like on their iPads a lot now. Whereas like back when I was their age, I was playing with toys and I was having fun outside.
You have have got no clue. When I was at the age of like maybe 8 years old. I would never ever leave my like Lego sets. I would build Lego jails, I would build Lego and I would just make up these stories of like escaped convicts or burning fire. I'd even include like these Superman figures to come in and save like the Lego world. Like,
we all have our experiences with play, and that is the very essence of this movie is play, and the way that technology can kind of be marginalized or integrated with play.
Exactly.
That's what I think is really well with this film. And I applaud it on its ability, like towards the end of the movie, how it is able to do that really, really nicely. It wraps it up nicely. Yet the ending was just a little bit
rushed.
A bit satisfactory. It was rushed. That's how I can say.
Yeah.
The ending was a bit.
This kind of brings us on to like the few negatives, which I'll start with. The ending does leave quite a lot to be desired. It's not. I don't take away anything from what the movie offered, but after this, I don't know how deep I can get into without spoilers. But with a third act that involves and captures quite this big like final battle or somewhat save the day scenario, for the film to just stop and then roll the credits, it kind of leaves you wanting more. And it brings me on to another issue I have, Woody specifically. I know that he isn't in the film as much as the trailers make it look. He doesn't need to be in the film. I promise you, when you guys watch this, the way the story is, he doesn't need to be in it. And another thing that is baffling to me is that out of everybody that I have seen on the internet, me and Lars are the only ones that have no idea what the hell the crew were thinking, including a bold, like, Woody with a bare belly and all that. Like,
what's the of that?
I have no idea why they think that that is just the new peak of comedy or something, but it is, to me, it is just the biggest cash grab I have ever seen. We bring Woody back. We brought Woody back. Let's make him old. You know, that's all I see. It's like they put a blindfold on, had a dartboard of ideas, and just went with whichever the dart landed on. So. Exactly. Woody being in the film to me is just unnecessary. And this is a spoiler, but it is something I need to bring up. So if you haven't seen the film, cover your ears. I do not like how Buzz Lightyear is written in this film because, as you can,
no.
yeah, as we've seen, as it's led up to ever since Toy Story 2, Buzz is obviously in love with Jessie, which is cute. But in this film, for whatever reason, I nearly said Lars then. Buzz spends, I want to say 90% of the film. Lars spent like, there I go again. Buzz, Buzz, Buzz spends.
Think about Buzz and Jessie.
That's what I'm trying to do. I was thinking of you and Kat. Buzz spends 90% of the movie simping over Jessie. In the situations where they try and plan how to defeat Lilypad, Jessie's on Buzz's mind. He spends the whole film trying to get the balls to propose to her. And it's like, that's fine for like a little running joke every like 20 minutes. But when it's the whole film, you're genuinely just thinking, like, why would you do this to such a good character that's had so much growth in all... Even Toy Story 4, Buzz Lightyear had great character growth. And for some...
Ooh, that's a steep opinion.
I know. I don't even like Toy Story 4.
I feel like the last two movies, they've really just... I think Buzz has just been written poorly. I think they've made him a bit dumb, in my opinion.
Well, for me personally, I didn't mind him in Toy Story 4. I thought he was quite good, like trying to help Woody, give him advice. I think Toy Story 5, he's just like they've forgotten about his character completely, and you know that I was very shocked to see that because Tim Allen like nails it as Buzz Lightyear each time. And obviously, everybody knows that Tom Hanks is one of my childhood heroes. So I'm glad that he came back. But at the same time, I don't know why. I get that, and I get it. I get that for all four movies, Woody has been the big market, and he's been the main character. He's been the number one like sold toy over these movies. But it gets to a point where if you make a story of him leaving the group, that is a big risk that you have to stick with. You can't just give such a big ending to a character and then bring him back because it's fine for kids, but what about the audience that grew up with the franchise? Like the real fans, like that doesn't create a bigger fan base. It decreases it and takes away the long running fans. Thankfully, the premise of this movie saved them, but if they didn't have a good premise, this movie would have genuinely been a flop. So they got off lucky. They need to not bring Woody back for the next film.
The thing is that I think that with that really quick and rushed ending, they're planning Story 6, and that is my genuine opinion. Like that is. Like, when you end like that, like, I've just noticed with the other films, right? Toy Story 1 works well as both in the franchise and as a single movie by itself. Would you agree?
Correct.
Toy Story 2, you need a little bit of background information, but overall, ends like you know it's going to end. Like, it's a good singular movie. Like, you can get it. Maybe you haven't watched the first one. You might need a bit of understanding here and there, but it works well.
Exactly.
3, same idea, right? You'll need a bit of understanding, but overall, you could watch it once by itself with no knowledge and get the ideas instantly, right?
And not to mention, Toy Story 3 is it is the ending. Toy Story, the directors, they were saying no. Toy Story 3 was just the end to Andy's story. Okay, fair enough. But I would say that people focus on the toys way more than Andy, and I say they had quite a big end. There was a moment where they all almost died and they held hands together. They were saved. That is a big ending for the toys as well, you know. I genuinely don't see what was like wrong with ending it at 3, and I know what you're about to say. You're about to pull a little curious George grin at me and then say, "Money, Joe, money."
Money.
And I guess that's just the answer to all my questions on why Woody's back, why they're continuing an already ended franchise. Just you can do the honors.
Money.
Exactly, money.
Money. It's a cash grab. I mean, Pixar has just been in strife recently. Like, have you seen Elio?
Oh.
No, I didn't see Elio. Bother to watch it. They just don't feel like Pixar movies. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm growing up, but they just don't feel like
classics.
Like the last good Pixar movie I watched recently was Soul. That was the last good one. The rest.
That's interesting. Okay, this is actually my question to everybody that views this video. Let's do something fun before we end. Me and Lars are gonna rank our 3 favorite Pixar films. We want you to do the same. I'll start. I'm gonna go from 3 to 1. Number 3, Coco.
Okay, fair enough.
Number 2, Soul. Number 1 of my childhood favorites, Ratatouille.
Oh,
that's my top 3.
My top 3. Oh, damn. My top 3. I think number 3, Soul.
Okay.
Number 2, Ratatouille.
Wow. Okay.
Number 1, Toy Story 2.
Wow. Really?
If I had to put a number 1, I think it would go to Toy Story 2.
Wow. Okay. I'm curious to see what all of you think. I mean, if you haven't seen Soul, I mean, what the hell are you doing with your life? The main character is called Joe. I mean, how am I supposed to, that's the best name out there for any guy or girl. There are some girls called Joe as well, so, But any final things that we want to touch on before we end about Toy Story 5?
Look, I just think personally, guys, whoever watches this, just go in there and just bring nostalgia with you. That's what I say. Bring that memory back, because if you bring that memory and that childhood essence within you, you'll enjoy the movie a lot more. And it is a piece of art. There are hundreds and hundreds of animators working to animate the expressions on someone's face. I do agree that the movie is a lot of fun. Obviously, we've seen in the trailers the whole, like, the robotic buzzers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I will admit, they're pretty cool. Okay, so look forward to seeing them in the movie.
And I'd like to say as well, back to what Lars was saying earlier about like how the first 3, you don't necessarily need to know much about the previous. You can enjoy it as one film. This film, despite it being good and fun and enjoyable, this is a film that you need to be a Toy Story fan in order to enjoy it. If you haven't watched the previous movies, you probably will not enjoy this. So yeah, that's just some advice I would like to give. What would you give it? What would you give it out of 10, Lars? What would you give it out of 10?
Oh, I'd give it out of 10. I would give it. Oh, I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't want to be too lenient. You know what I mean? I think I'll give it a solid, like, 7.5 out of 10.
That's the exact same rating I'd give it. 7.5. It's good. It isn't brilliant. It isn't terrible. It's good. It's just good. Exact. And that's
It didn't like shock me out of the water. Like it didn't do what Soul did for me. Soul was like just felt like emotionally pungent, if you know what I mean. It felt punchy, right?
Yeah.
This, I think, it needs a bit more emotions in it. That's what I think. Because I think for a good Toy Story movie, you need a bit more emotions.
Especially for the long run in fans as well.
And yeah, I think as well, in terms of its improvement, just needs and for future Toy Story movies, whoever watches this, Andrew Stanton, if you end up seeing this, my God, can't believe you search his side of the internet. But I just think that a little bit more on the toys' emotions, and I reckon if Andrew Stanton sees this, make the stakes higher. Let's have some toys.
Let's raise the bars a bit for Toy Story 6.
Go harsh. Let's make these kids cry.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Let's hurt the kids. Let's get them bullied. Let's have them feel shitty about themselves. I'm too dark with my storytelling.
Whatever you're thinking, I'm probably thinking too. We need to make sure that toys, they need to have a bit of suffering going on, because that's what probably toys go through. Like, if you imagine the toys in the landfills, hell, we haven't toys who have just suffered the actual burn itself. We want to see them experience that sort of thing.
Dude,
I was thinking as well, what if the toys were actually found out to be alive? And now we're just thinking Toy Story 6 plot now.
Have you not seen the Toy Awakening? I fought a bunch of toys. I had to set my house on fire because of it. I burnt Mr. Bear. Oh, damn you, Mr. Bear. I had to do it. But, I do agree. But regardless, let's raise the stakes a bit higher. Let's bully the kids. Let's make them cry. Me and Lots are going to be what put Pixar out of production, but thank you all so much. Go on, say it again.
Make Toy Story 6 good.
Make Toy Story 6 good. That's all we ask. Thank you all for watching. Let's hear your reviews as well on Toy Story 5. Say bye, Lots. Thanks. Nobody cares. Bye everyone.